I feel like I say this before every video I've made recently, but the 2022 NBA season is coming up fast, and it is time for another predictions video. I just put out my standings predictions, and now it is time for my NBA awards predictions for the 75th NBA season in its history. Let's get right into it with the award that everybody wants to know, the one that people really care about, the MVP. Who is going to win the MVP in this absolutely stacked league? Let's basically go through all of the top candidates, get the lesser ones out of the way first. Damian Lillard, not going to be a high enough seed, and even Lillard at his very best. Even when he is just barely managing to get the Trailblazers to be a high seed in the Western Conference, I'm just not sure if he's quite an MVP caliber player. So not him. Anthony Davis and LeBron James playing on the same team. They're going to take each other's votes. Neither of them. Same thing with Kevin Durant and James Harden, especially if Kyrie is healthy, and even if the two of them are healthy, because they're injured a whole lot. Maybe if one of those two players is injured most of the season, the other one could steal an MVP, but my guess is that neither of them are going to be able to get the votes while they're playing together. Luka Doncic, look, maybe Luka Doncic takes a giant leap. I said this in my standings videos. He could take a leap, and he could carry the Mavericks to a higher seed, but I just don't think it's happening yet. I think he needs another year. I think he needs a little bit more help on his team. I don't think Luka Doncic is going to be winning MVP in this upcoming season, even though I do believe he is currently ranked as the most likely player to win the award. I just don't see it. Kawhi Leonard out for the season, so, obviously he's not going to win. And then the remaining candidates, I believe we have Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, and Steph Curry. So, the three players who were the top three for MVP last year, and Giannis, who won the MVP both years before then. Let's take Jokic out of the way first, shall we? Look, I know the dude just won the MVP. He's absolutely an MVP caliber player. However, I do expect the Nuggets to once again not be a tippy-top seed in the Western Conference, even though they will be in the thick of the playoffs, without Jamal Murray. I just don't think they're going to be up there. And I know last year they weren't a top 2 seed, but for the last 40 years of NBA history, almost every single MVP has been a top 2 seed, and half of the exceptions have been a top 3 seed. The other exceptions are Nikola Jokic and Russell Westbrook, okay? I don't expect another outlier random season where a player who's not a top 2 seed is able to win MVP. I just don't see it happening. Last year was an anomaly. It's not going to happen again. Nikola Jokic will not be winning the MVP. Giannis could absolutely win the MVP, but if I'm being completely honest, I think the Bucks might coast a little bit this season. I think they might rest Giannis a little bit more. They just won a championship. I'm absolutely not suggesting that Giannis is the type of player to coast. I don't think he will. But I also just don't see him winning the MVP. Maybe it's just some weird thing with me. I don't know. I just don't see him winning. He's absolutely talented enough. He very well may be the best player in the NBA next season. But I don't quite see Giannis winning the award. There still might be voter fatigue from the year previous. I just don't know if he has enough to prove right now. I think Giannis will win another MVP in his career, but my guess is that it will come after some form of disappointing playoff exit, and then he's going to have a comeback season with the narrative behind him. He doesn't have any narrative behind him either, and the narrative is a big thing for this award. Now, the runner-up for the MVP, in my opinion, will be Joel Embiid. The Sixers are going to be a high seed. Embiid absolutely has the talent. The one thing holding him back, just like it is every season, is health. Joel Embiid is injury prone. Joel Embiid rests games even when he's not injured because the team is worried about how injury prone he is. Joel Embiid is probably only going to play 70 games this season, maybe less if he gets hurt again, which is always a fear, praying that he doesn't, but it's always a worry. So I believe, just like last year, unfortunately, Joel Embiid is only going to finish second in the MVP race. And in first place, the MVP winner will be Steph Curry. Steph Curry is, in my opinion, the best player in the NBA right now. Spoiler alert for when I inevitably do my best players going into next season video. Steph Curry's currently the best player in the league. He has not won an MVP in several years, but he finally has a healthy Warriors team again backing him up. Klay Thompson coming back. The Warriors are going to be a high seed. People are sleeping on this team. Steph Curry is about to have another phenomenal season just like last year, but unlike last year, he's not going to be a low enough seed that people can just write it off as empty stats or whatever bullcrap they did to say he wasn't a real MVP candidate last season. Steph Curry's going to win the MVP. Now, with the biggest awards out of the way, let's go into the smaller ones, the ones that people don't quite care about as much. Next up is Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm just going to go over the main candidate and the few runner-ups for these ones. Defensive Player of the Year, I think the winner's going to be Anthony Davis. Now, for those of you who've been watching my channel, for a while anyway, you know that I think Anthony Davis is just a little bit very overrated by the general NBA fanbase, specifically on the defensive end. I think he gets a lot more credit than he deserves for the Lakers' amazing defense. Not saying he's not an amazing defender. I would, in fact, say that he is a top 5 defender in the league. However, this dude is not the defensive player that some people act like he is. He is not this incredible, easily the best defender in the league, ultra switchable, great rim protector that a whole bunch of freaking people think he is. He is playing with a good defensive team. He is playing under a very good defensive coach in Frank Vogel. And even though I don't think he's going to deserve all of the credit he gets next season, he is going to be a very good defender, and I think the Lakers are going to be an elite defense, and I think Anthony Davis is going to get most of the credit, and they are going to give him the Defensive Player of the Year award. Ben Simmons, in my opinion, will be the runner-up. I believe Giannis and Rudy Gobert will both be up there as well. Gobert, I could see having another historic defensive season in the regular season, but look, it's too late for Gobert. Everybody knows how this dude is in the playoffs at this point. He crapped the bed last playoffs. It wasn't entirely his fault. Some of it was the coaching, but nobody's going to give this man the benefit of the doubt. The Sixers really have 3 Defensive Player of the Year candidates with Ben, Thibault, and Embiid, but I think they're all going to take each other's votes, and then there are some other guys. Draymond Green is actually a dark horse for this, by the way. I don't think he'll be the runner-up, but I do have him as the dark horse for this award. I could see the Warriors being a very good defense, but right now, my pick is Anthony Davis. Moving on to the Rookie of the Year award, I think it's going to be Jalen Green. I think the Houston Rockets are going to lose a lot of games, but they're a bad enough team that Green is going to sit there and he's going to put up some ridiculous stats on this team. He is going to go off, I could see somewhere around 18 to 20 points a game. Very good efficiency. He is absolutely an NBA-ready player. He played great in the Summer League. This dude's going to be a baller. He's going to be a baller from day one. Cade Cunningham probably going to be the runner-up. I could see like Scotty Barnes being up there too. He played very well in Summer League. Don't know a ton about him to be honest, but he played well, and I know he has a lot of potential. I just think Jalen Green, I think he's got the most open lane in the league with how bad the Rockets are going to be. He's going to put up the numbers, and I believe he will win the Rookie of the Year award. Most Improved Player. This was a tough one. These later awards, they're really tough for me because I mean, it's kind of hard to predict. I mean, most improved player? I don't know. We don't know who's going to improve. If I had to guess, gun to my head, I would go with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I believe he will win the award. He missed some games last season. This dude has just been waiting to break out into his all-star season. Since he was a rookie, this man has shown so much potential. I think he's going to be amazing next year, and I do think he will win the award. Man, there are a lot of other people I could see competing for it, but if I had to choose a single runner-up player, I would go with DeAndre Hunter of the Atlanta Hawks. He was injured a lot last season. I don't think people realize how good this guy is, partially because he was injured, and partially because people didn't care about the Hawks until it was playoff time. Now, this year, he's coming in. People are looking at the Hawks. They know how good they are. And because of that, they're going to be looking at Hunter. And he's going to have improved from the previous year. So it's not even that much he's going to have this massive leap, as much as he's going to have a mid-sized leap and a whole lot of freaking narrative behind him. I could very easily see DeAndre Hunter being the clear second best player on the Hawks. putting up 20 points a game, giving you very good defense. The dude could just be a very good second option on a very good Atlanta team, and I would not be shocked if he wins this award. Now, the last two awards, Coach of the Year, I think it could be Steve Kerr. It's really a toughie, okay? It could be Steve Kerr. If the Nets end up making the 1 seed, it could be Steve Nash, but the thing with Steve Nash is that people might not appreciate how good his coaching is because he has the 3 stars on his team. They might not care. I would put Steve Kerr as my current frontrunner for this. If I had to choose a runner-up, I would go with Nate McMillan of the Hawks. Once again, I could see the Hawks managing to sneak into like a top 3 seed in the East, and I think if they do that, people are going to recognize them, they're going to recognize how good McMillan is, and they are going to give him the Coach of the Year. But right now, my guess would be Steve Kerr of the Warriors. I think they're going to be real good, and it's kind of a tough race. I don't see like a real standout candidate here, so could be a lot of people. I'm going with Steve Kerr. Sixth Man of the Year is the last of the major awards, and once again, I really have no idea who to pick. I really don't. There's a lot of Sixth Man of the Year candidates out there. I do not have a clear frontrunner. It could be anybody coming off the bench of like the Nets who ends up playing well. Somebody like Cam Payne or Cam Johnson coming off the bench of the Suns. I could absolutely see one of those two guys winning Sixth Man of the Year. I think they're both going to be really good, especially Cam Payne. With Chris Paul getting older, I could see like him playing less minutes. Cam Payne plays like a Manu role where he's like a borderline starter minutes, like 6-man guy. He's playing a whole lot. Wild card here, dark horse, Matisse Thybulle, Philadelphia 76ers. He is going to be an all-defensive team guy once again, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, in a way. And I think his offense is going to get a little bit better. I don't know if he's going to be, a great offensive player by any means, but in the Olympics, he certainly looked better on offense than he did last season. I think if his offense improves, his defense stays at this borderline, like, first-team all-defense level, he plays 25 minutes a game, Matisse Thybulle very well could win Sixth Man of the Year, especially if the Sixers have a high record. So, I guess my choice right now is either like Cam Payne or Cam Johnson of the Suns, Matisse Thybulle runner-up. And that is it. Those are my award picks for the upcoming NBA season. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you disagree with. Man, I can't wait for the season. Might be a little bit before I make my next video. I'm about to start classes again on this upcoming Tuesday, so we will see how much time I have. I will obviously continue trying to make videos. Definitely going to keep making videos throughout the semester. We'll just, the schedule may be a bit spotty, so just FYI if any of you happen to care, my video upload times may be a little bit whack in the upcoming weeks. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day.